Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all well wherever you are and whatever you're up to. I'm Lauren, and in this video I want to chat to you about the blouse that I'm wearing just now, which is the Friday Pattern Company Raglan blouse. And I wore this in the new fabrics video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, and I got loads of questions about it, so I thought I'd make a little video just telling you a bit more about my make in case it's useful for anyone. So I actually made this before Christmas because I wanted something quite quick and easy to make so I could wear something new for Christmas basically. And I've got a little baby, he's only 3 months old just now. So he was obviously younger before Christmas, and I wanted something that was going to be quite quick and easy to make in between looking after a baby, and also something that was loose enough that I would be able to quite easily just sort of pull it up so that I could still feed the baby when I needed to. So this is the pattern here. It's a really simple make, and it's loose. You can see that it's loose, so it's not got any darts or anything, and it's got raglan sleeves which are nice and easy, so you don't have to set in any sleeves, which takes a bit longer. And you can see that the sleeves on it are quite sort of full as well, so it's got elastic at the hem of the sleeves, and it's also got elastic at the hem as well, which gives it this sort of blousing effect. So you need to use fabric that is going to be floaty and kind of bouncy and fluid, otherwise it's going to feel like a bit of a puff ball. So the fabric that I used is the Atelier Brunette Viscose Twill. It's twig print in the blush colourway, and it does come in 2 other colourways as well, but you could use any viscose print, any rayon, modal, a tencel, anything that's going to be sort of floaty like that. If you used something like a cotton lawn or a double gauze or something, you know, you could do that as well, but you just need to bear in mind that it will sort of maybe feel like a little bit more puffy. It won't kind of drape or sort of blouse over that elasticated hem at the sleeve and at the bottom of the top as well. And then round the neckline it's got a bias finish, so we have the matching bias binding that goes with this fabric, so it comes ready made. We've got loads of different Atelier Brunette bias bindings, so that was really quick and easy to put on as well. And just to make it nice on the inside, when I use this type of fabric, if I can, I like to use French seams, just because it's on more delicate fabric. That's quite a nice way to do it. So the way that you construct this blouse is that you sew the raglan seams in first, and then when you sew the side seam and the sleeve seam, you kind of do it all in one. So I French seamed that as well, so it looks really nice on the inside. You can't really do that on the back as much, so what I did on the back of my blouse was I just pressed it under and then top stitched it, so it still looks nice and neat sort of on the back, on the inside as well. In terms of sizing, the size range in this pattern goes from extra small up to extra large, and according to my body measurements I should have really been making the small, but I decided to make the extra small because at the moment I'm not my normal size because I've just had a baby, but also it's got a lot of ease built into it, so I just looked at the finished garment measurements as well to help to decide my size. So the bust size of the extra small is 40, and at the moment my bust is like 34, 35, depending on what bra I'm on, depending on when I fed the baby. So then I knew that if I made an extra small, then I'm still going to have 5 inches of ease, which I felt like was going to be enough for me, and I'm quite happy with the fit on that. So I effectively sized down from what my actual body is just now. The sleeve length I feel like came up shorter than what I was expecting. I don't know if you've ever heard of a bracelet length sleeve before. I would say that that's what this is, so it kind of stops short of the wrist a little bit. I mean, it's fine. I think if I'd known that, I might have lengthened it a little bit, so it might just be worth checking that if you decide to make it and you think you might want the sleeves a bit longer, or if you normally lengthen sleeves, just measure the pattern piece from the sleeve of the pattern piece from here, and then put the measuring tape like there on your neck and just measure down your arm and see how long it is and add on accordingly. That's the only thing I would sort of say to check. Overall, I would say it's a nice, quick, easy make. If you've not made many garments before, or if you've not worked with viscose or sort of floppy fabric before, then it's quite a good one to try because the construction of it is pretty simple. And then the other make that I wanted to chat to you about in this video as well is what I made to go with this top before Christmas too, and is the Closet Case Patterns Pietra trousers. So I decided to make mine using some of our Tencel twill, but the pattern recommends that you could be used in loads of different fabrics depending on what effect you wanted. So the design of the pattern is that it's flat at the front and it's got panels. The front legs of the trousers are panelled as well, and then it's got an elasticated waist at the back. So I wanted to use something that was quite fluid and drapey and that wasn't going to be too sort of structured, which is why I chose the Tencel Twill. And we've got loads of different colours in that. We've got the Atelier Brunette ones as well. So it is a nice fabric to make it with, but you could make it with a linen or a cotton linen mix, or a viscose linen mix. If you used something that's more structured like a linen or a cotton linen, then it's just, you know, the trousers are just going to have more sort of shape to them and kind of, yeah, hold their shape a little bit more, whereas the Tencel they sort of flop and kind of move around a little bit. So in terms of sizing, when I made this one, in Closet Case I normally make a size 6, but at the moment, because I've had the baby, I'm not back to my sort of normal body shape yet, so I actually made the size 8, which does correspond to my current body measurements. And the only adjustment that I made to the pattern was that I did a small bottom, a small seat adjustment, I think that's what it's called, which is what I do in all trouser patterns, but otherwise I didn't change it. And I would say, compared to other trousers that I've made, they are high-waisted, they are quite high-waisted. So if you don't really like things that are like really high-waisted, or you normally reduce the height of the rise, then I was try to just sort of take a look at that by measuring the pattern pieces before you cut it out, because they are pretty high. I also found that because they're quite high, and then you've got the elastic at the back to make it fitted, like that's how you get them on and off, because you pull them up and the elastic stretches and that's how you get them on. But because they're quite high and then they're quite fitted at the waist, I actually found it quite tight getting over my hips. So yeah, that might be something you want to think about as well. If you've got quite a big ratio, if you've got the ratio between your waist and your hip size is a lot, then just kind of bear that in mind in terms of actually getting them on and off, because they would need to be tight enough to fit your waist, but then they need to be able to stretch enough to get over your hips, if that makes sense. And I did use the elastic amount that it sort of said in the pattern. I still found it a bit tight, so I don't know, maybe just something to bear in mind. It could just be me. But I really like the pockets in these. They're sort of built into the front, which is quite good. They're nice deep pockets. In terms of the length, so I did View B, which I think they describe View B, it's a slim tapered leg. But yeah, I did View B. And they probably come up, I didn't lengthen it or anything, I just sort of did it as the pattern. Probably come up like at my limit of being cropped, like I wouldn't really want them cropped anymore. And when I've made cropped trousers before, I've probably had them a little bit longer than these ones. So again, maybe just something to check in terms of the length of the leg. So as you can see from the little videos that I've made of me wearing the trousers, I've washed and worn these trousers quite a few times now. I have had them since before Christmas, and they're one of the few pairs of trousers that fit me right now. And I would say that the Tencel kind of wears in a bit like denim. So you know that when you first get something that's denim, you know, it looks quite sort of, the colour of it looks sort of quite crisp and quite flat, but then the more that you wear it, the denim sort of becomes textured and it fades in certain places as well. And I would say that that's what the Tencel does too, you know, as a natural fibre, so it is going to kind of have that sort of characteristic to it, and I think that's just sort of part of the look of the trousers. If you wanted something that was kind of cleaner or going to sort of stay more saturated, then I would say you could either use like a lightweight denim fabric or use a linen fabric or like a cotton linen fabric. But yeah, the Tencel just has that sort of natural kind of characteristic after you wear it and wash it. So I hope you found that little roundup useful for the Raglan blouse and the Pietra trousers. If you've got any questions or comments at all, then you can leave them on the video, or if you want a quick answer to anything technical, then the best place to do that is by emailing the shop. I'll put the email address in the description to the video too, because it's manned more regularly. It might take me a little bit longer to reply to a comment on the YouTube video. But yeah, just get in touch if there's anything you want to know. You can get all of the things that I've mentioned on our website, and we ship worldwide. I'll put the links to everything, that the patterns and the fabrics, in the description to the video too. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.